Hey guys, this is Gauri and welcome to my first story. This story is called A Cup of Tea, and since this is my first episode, there is bound to be some kind of awkwardness, and that awkwardness is sure to follow. That is why it's up to your own generosity to forgive me, okay? And if you hear some background noise, then you know who to blame. Me, obviously. Okay, so a cup of tea, or tea in the time of coronavirus. Doesn't sound very catchy, but just give me a chance, okay? He took a long breath and started wheezing. Everything is the same these days, day after day. Who knew what the future held? Dusk painted the sky a purple-orange. The hours they tickled by like a bullock cart dragged by a lame bull. A shadow fell upon everything in his sight. The trees, the empty streets, the recently quarantined circuit house on the left, and the park across the street with all of its abandoned playthings. He could do with a cup of tea, he decided. A strong cup to cure his dry cough. He didn't have a proper meal since the lockdown. The last of his meager savings brought him a couple of potatoes. He ate mashed potatoes for 2 days, and now, in the wet July air, he craved for a steaming hot cup of tea. I closed the door right now, okay. Maybe with a few biscuits too. Better dream luxuriously if you're allowed to dream at all. The disposable surgical mask made the lower part of his face itch. He had been wearing it since the start of the lockdown, and yet he could never quite make peace with it. It made him sweat profusely on the face, and then there was the persistent itch. The worst thing about the lockdown, though, was not the mask. It was not even the plague. In any case, the disease had a funny name. Karuna? He asked his friend Bablu in disbelief. His late sister's name was Karuna. He didn't fancy his sister's name getting ruined with a virus tag. Yes, coronavirus, Bablu said, chuckling as he washed a day's worth of stainless steel dishes piled up behind his cart. He made the best chicken momos in all of Karbi Anglong. That was before the lockdown started. That was when people still visited Bablu for momo and Bhaiti's little shack for tea, biscuits, or even roti bhaji. The worst thing about the lockdown was the emptiness. But then it was for the best, or so they were told on the radio commercials. Ye sannata acha hai. This silence is good. He could just call it the plague, Bhaiti decided. Bablu wasn't here anymore. He had been taken away in an ambulance 2 days ago by some man in funny-looking raincoats that covered them from top to bottom. They returned the following day and made him open his mouth to test if he had caught the virus too. It was only then that he realized that they were doctors. Bhaiti, 1 cup of tea. A familiar voice said, breaking his trance. He hadn't had a customer for weeks. He looked up to a man in a pale blue shirt and black trousers. He recognized him even with the blunt beak-like mask on. He was MLA Sir's driver, Moloida. He had to tell him, "The tea leaves are finished, Dada, and there is no sugar," Heidi said. There was no gas, no clean drinking water, no wood for the fire, but there are only so many things you can tell someone you don't have. So that was part 1, and if you if you visit my blog, if you feel like it, then you'll see that the story is there in 2 parts. So that was end of part 1, and now part 2. Like in movies they have interval, and before the interval some things happen, and after the interval there is a twist and things just take a U-turn or something happens, right? So okay, I'll stop blabbering, I'll just continue. A cup of tea. This is the second part. Molloy did not reply. Instead, he stood up to leave. Bhaiti returned to arranging his shack for the night. All of a sudden, his stomach made a rumbling noise, loud enough to make the visitor halt. Molloy turned, then took out his wallet and walked to the tall, lean boy with crisp black hair and brown skin. He smiled at the pair of squinting black eyes that stared back at him till he realized that Bhaiti couldn't see him smile with the mask on. "Take it. It's not much, but it will be enough for a couple of decent meals. The times must be hard on you, with no people around and all," Molloy said, laying the notes on a nearby wooden slab and walking away. "Thank you, Dada," shouted Bhaiti in ecstasy. Molloy didn't turn back but lifted a hand as he walked. He could finally have a hot meal and a lovely cup of tea. He just needed some flour, a few potatoes would do for the side dish, some tea leaves, of course. He could even afford sugar. But he would be careful. He would spend the money well. It was so generous of good old Molloy Dad to think about him. He would find a way to repay him after the lockdown was over. The lockdown. All the shops were closed. Where would he buy food? Bhaiti dropped on the muddy ground, wrenching the mask out of his face. His lips trembled, his eyes burned. Everything grew hazy, and all of a sudden, a strange but sure weariness took over him. Life is cruel. He didn't hear the sound of the approaching ambulance. He didn't hear the heavy footsteps of doctors and policemen in PPE kits approaching him with a certain amount of cautiousness. Was the boy dead already? "He has a pulse," said a doctor. Bhaiti came to his senses only when a doctor lifted him. He started panicking. He tried to jump out of his grasp and the doctor let him. Once on the hard ground, he looked at the alien-like people surrounding him and tried to ask something, but he supposed he already knew what they were here for. It brought him a strange sense of relief. "Sir," he said, "will there be a cup of tea at the hospital?" Okay, so that is the end of the story. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you liked it, and if you did, then thank you. Thank you once again. And well, thanks for staying until the end. Okay, that's the end of my string of thank yous. So I hope I'll see you again in the next episode, like in the next story. Thank you once again. Okay, I apologize.